Hello. On behalf of the upper school faculty, I would like to welcome our students, parents, their families, and guests to this year's Honors Day. Today's awards presentation is designed to recognize our most distinguished students and faculty from all areas of school life. It would be impossible for us to recognize each and every achievement of our student body at today's event. However, every student at Darlington should be proud of their accomplishments in the classroom, on the playing fields and stage, and for the service that they have provided to our community. Honors Day is designed to reflect the mission of Darlington School. Today's award recipients epitomize learning with passion, acting with integrity, and serving with respect.
Appropriately, we will begin this morning by announcing that 44 of our seniors have been offered 99 merit scholarships by many different colleges throughout the country for their academic, artistic, and athletic merit and achievement. These scholarship offers have totaled approximately $7.4 million in value, not including the Hope Scholarship. These scholarship offers have already been announced and celebrated in Assembly and in Lakeside lines as they have been received throughout the year. All of us at Darlington are very proud of these seniors who have distinguished themselves by earning these wonderful scholarships, and we congratulate them once again on their achievement. The Williamson Prize. This $2,000 prize is given by Douglas F. Williamson, Jr., class of '48, in memory of his parents and in honor of his 50th Darlington reunion, in the hope of encouraging attendance at Amherst or other liberal arts colleges in New England by Darlington students, and particularly Darlington men from the Deep South. This year's recipient of the Williamson Prize is Trang Ming Dan, Adairsville, Georgia. The Phi Beta Kappa Book Award. Founded in 1776, Phi Beta Kappa is the oldest and most prestigious of the academic honor societies in the United States. This award is presented by the Phi Beta Kappa Society of Georgia to a Darlington student who exemplifies the highest level of academic, ethical, and social commitment reflective of the principles of Phi Beta Kappa. This year's recipient is Stephen Yan, Shanghai, China. The Harvard Club Award. The Harvard Club of Georgia sponsors this award to honor an outstanding junior at Darlington who has demonstrated both intellectual and personal promise through scholarship, character, and achievement in other fields. This year's recipient is Riccardo Frisani, Rome, Georgia. The Yale Book Award. Sponsored by the Yale Club of Georgia and given to a junior who has exhibited outstanding character and intellectual promise, excellence in non-academic pursuits, exceptional leadership skills, and noteworthy contributions to community. This year's recipient is Yihan Helen Kui, Shanghai, China. The Wellesley College Book Award. The Atlanta Wellesley Club sponsors this award to honor a female student in the junior class who has an exceptional academic record and has made a significant personal contribution to her school community. This year's recipient is Angelina Ann Laramie, Cumming, Georgia.
Class Scholarship Awards are presented to those undergraduates who have the highest average at each level. The Senior Award will be presented at graduation. This year's recipient for 9th grade is Belle Ann Brooks of Rome, Georgia. The 10th grade winner is Mason Wu from Jian, China. The 11th grade winner is Stephen Yan from Shanghai, China. The Hanks Medal for Scholarship, named for J. Daniel Hanks Sr., Darlington class of 1927, the Hanks Medal for Scholarship is presented to the student with the highest average in grades 9 through 12. This year's recipient is Casey Nicole Barnett of Cedartown, Georgia.
The Paul J. King R.M. Yankee Award for Excellence in Mathematics. This award is given in memory of the late Paul J. King and R.M. Yankee in recognition of their profound influence upon the lives of the students, and in particular, upon the lives of the donors, the late Robert, class of 1949, and G. Ogden Persons, class of 1953. This annual award is made to that student who has demonstrated excellence in mathematics. This year's recipient is Jijian Gordon Gao, Shanghai, China. The Rensselaer Medal. The Rensselaer Medal was established by Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in order to recognize superlative academic achievement and to promote careers in science, engineering, and technology. It is awarded to a promising junior who has distinguished themselves in mathematics and in science. This year's recipient is Angelina Ann Laramie, Cumming, Georgia. The John Roos Cunningham Jr. Award. Established in memory of the late John Roos Cunningham Jr., who was a member of the Darlington community for more than 30 years, this award is presented to that student of physics who, in the judgment of the science department, is most deserving. This year's recipient is Yiji Alec Wang, Hangzhou, China. The Everett E. Porter Award for Excellence in Chemistry Laboratory. The Everett E. Porter Award was established by Mr. Charles A. Height of Rome, Georgia, in memory of Dr. Everett E. Porter. This award recognizes excellence in laboratory work in chemistry. This year's recipient is Zhang Corinne Lian, Datong City, China. The A.J. Huffman Memorial Award. Established by classmates and friends of the late Butch Huffman, class of 1967, this award is given to the student in chemistry who has demonstrated the highest achievement in this course. This year's recipient is Eli Lucas Mays, Rome, Georgia. The George A. Dorsey Award. This award is given in loving remembrance of George Andrew Dorsey, a longtime teacher whose example of gentleness and concern deeply influenced decades of Darlington students and faculty. It recognizes that student who is distinguished by their quest for knowledge and their love of living things. This year's recipients are Lucy Anna Bearden, Cartersville, Georgia. The Engineering Leadership Award. The Engineering Leadership Award honors the student who has developed significant expertise in multiple engineering applications, including robot mechanics and computer-aided design. This award recipient has also shown remarkable leadership through his/her mentorship of fellow engineering students. This year's recipient is Yunhong David Cao, Shanghai, China. The Jeffrey M. Horsfield Scroll. This award is presented to the senior honor student whose interest, keen insight, and high performance has caused the student to excel in the field of history. This year's recipient is Dawson Shag Williams, Cave Spring, Georgia. The DAR Medal for American History. The Xavier Chapter, National Society of Daughters of the American Revolution, recognizes a student demonstrating excellence and outstanding work in the study of American history. This year's recipient is Cooper Efton Cates, Rome, Georgia. Global Scholars Award. 4 Darlington students have successfully completed the Global Studies program for the 2019-2020 academic year. A global scholar is one that has acquired a deep understanding of global challenges, has developed empathy for different cultures, and has begun to define their own role as a global citizen. It is with great pleasure that I present these 4 students who I am confident are equipped to make significant contributions to the global community. Abigail Marie Burris, Cedartown, Georgia. Maggie Lee Hawkins, Cedartown, Georgia. Yiran Lillian Lee, Lu, China. Vika Marie Malinchuk, Rome, Georgia. The Eevee Register Award. This award is given in honor of Eevee Register to that student who has shown great interest in the study of English and has demonstrated excellence in both writing and the appreciation of literature. This year's recipient is Nicholas Frederick Powell, Rome, Georgia. The Rina Patton Award. The Rina Patton Award recognizes excellence or great promise in the area of creative writing by a Darlington student. The award is established in appreciation for the teaching and influence of Miss Patton on Diane Allison Bellamy, class of 1990. This year's recipient is Grace Hannah Waters, Rome, Georgia.
The George W. Awesome Award. This award is given in honor of George W. Awesome, who gave the gift of pleasure in the arts to Darlington students for many years. It is presented to the junior who enjoys and excels in the subject areas involving the humanities, history, English, foreign language, and fine arts. This year's recipient is Daria Alana Black, Cinnamonson, New Jersey. The George and Betsy Awesome Senior Art Collection. The George and Betsy Awesome Senior Art Collection was established to honor the finest senior artists and the studio art programs that guided them. Chosen by a jury selection, these works will be on permanent display at Darlington School. This year's artists are Lee Chelsea Barnes, Rome, Georgia. Molly Giles Brewer, Rome, Georgia. Carissa Lee Brogdon, Nassau, Bahamas. Abigail Marie Burris, Cedartown, Georgia. Stuart Waniki Nicholas Gacchio, Atlanta, Georgia. Maggie Lee Hawkins, Cedartown, Georgia. Alec Scott Patterson, South Bend, Indiana. Grace Hannah Waters, Rome, Georgia. And Hermione Augusta Waite, Atlanta, Georgia. The American Choral Directors Association National Student Awards. The American Choral Directors Association National Student Awards are given to 2 outstanding seniors who have demonstrated a sincere love of music through the art of choral singing. This year's recipients are Kathleen Camille Temple, Rome, Georgia, and William Blair McLean, Rome, Georgia. The Darlington School Chorus Award, given by the Denny family in memory of Worth Moser and those students who have given their time and talents to a rich tradition of choral music at Darlington. The Darlington School Chorus Award is awarded to the senior student who has contributed the most to the Darlington Choral Department during the school year, their senior year. This year's recipient is Isabella Parka Cox, Rome, Georgia. The Chorus Darlington Players Achievement Awards. The Chorus Darlington Players Achievement Awards are given for unselfish dedication and service to the Darlington Players and the choral department. This year's recipients are Rema Azuka Abayanuju Anya, Victoria Island, Nigeria, and Caleb Joseph Baldwin, Rome, Georgia. The Darlington Players Award for Acting. The Darlington Players Awards are awarded for outstanding contribution in dramatic performance. This year's recipients are Lee Chelsea Barnes, Rome, Georgia, and Nicholas Frederick Powell, Rome, Georgia. Darlington Players Award for Production. The Darlington Players Award for Production is awarded for outstanding contribution in dramatic and technical production. This year's recipient is Abigail Marie Burris, Cedartown, Georgia. The McKinney Wilkinson Passion Award. The McKinney Wilkinson Passion Award is awarded to that freshman cast member who is not a lead, but rather a member of the ensemble who shows dedication and passion to the production in which he or she participated in. This year's recipient is Eliana Catherine Allen, Rome, Georgia. The John Philip Sousa Award. The John Philip Sousa Award is given in recognition for outstanding achievement and interest in instrumental music, for singular merit in loyalty and cooperation, and for displaying those high qualities of conduct that school instrumental music requires. This year's recipient is Caleb Joseph Baldwin, Rome, Georgia. The McKinney Wilkinson Percussion Scholarship. The McKinney Wilkinson Percussion Scholarship is given annually in memory of Clay McKinney and Sean Wilkinson. Sean and Clay were active percussionists in Darlington's former steel drum band. This award is given to 2 current percussionists who are members of either the band or the orchestra so that they may attend a music summer camp of their choosing. This year's recipients are Noah Andrew Kinney, Rome, Georgia, and Thomas Dooley Monroe, Cedartown, Georgia.
The Dim McNall Awards. These awards are presented to those seniors who typify the best qualities of a scholar athlete, have an overall average of 90 or better, and have lettered in at least 2 sports. This year's recipients are Frances Isabel Fields, Kingston, Georgia; Joseph Franklin Manning II, Rome, Georgia. The C.J. Wyatt Senior Award, established in honor of Mr. C.J. Wyatt, former patron, friend, and trustee, and is awarded to the best male athlete in school. This year's recipient is Tate Collier Ratledge, Rome, Georgia. The Jomo Memorial Award. This award was established by the late Dean Covington Sr. in memory of Jomo, an alumnus who lost his life in World War II. It is given to the most versatile male athlete in school. This year's recipient is Tristan Emmanuel Wright, Rome, Georgia. The Most Outstanding Female Athlete Award. Established by the late Eevee Register, this award is determined by a vote of the varsity coaches in all sports. This year's recipient is Caroline May Dingler, Cedartown, Georgia. The Most Versatile Female Athlete Award. The Most Versatile Female Athlete Award is determined by a vote of the varsity coaches in all sports. This year's recipients are Olivia Caroline Adams, Rome, Georgia. Caroline Ansley Hunt, Rome, Georgia.
The Kip Tillman Memorial Award. This award is given in memory of Anna Kip and Hannah Tillman, class of 2007, who passed in the winter of their junior years and whose legacies have left a smile on the faces of everyone who knew them. Anna Kip and Hannah Tillman were both bright young ladies who possessed bold personalities, infectious smiles, a willingness to always make time for friends and strangers alike, and most of all, great loyalty, all of which earned them our love and respect. The recipient of this award is a junior girl that best exemplifies the characteristics of an athlete and an artist who demonstrates a love for life and a genuine acceptance of the people around her. This year's recipient is Tanya Elizabeth Maples, Hampton Cove, Alabama. The Class Citizenship Awards. As chosen by the faculty, these awards are to be presented to the boy and girl in each class, both resident and day, who have proven to be overall friends to the school and its students by loyalty, kindness, attendance, allegiance, and other good citizen attitudes. This year's recipients are as follows. Catherine Gilstrap Scott, Rome, Georgia. Braden James Bell, Rome, Georgia. Amelia Beatrice Gardner, Nassau, Bahamas. Percy Ballman, Rhinebeck, Germany. Isabel Grace Willerson, Rome, Georgia. Charles Harold Bell, Rome, Georgia. Maria Eduarda Pelogia Pinto, Sao Paulo, Brazil. Mason Landon Jake Zanoni, Rome, Georgia. Cappy Houston May, Rome, Georgia. Carl Luke McDermott, Rome, Georgia. Sarah Alice Barngrover, Columbus, Georgia. Shannon Lee, Jingzhou, China. Savannah Quay Corbin, Rome, Georgia. Henry Norwood Crawford, Rome, Georgia. Sharon Sun, Hangzhou, China. Ryan June Kim, Singapore, Singapore.
The Worth Moser Award was established by John McFarland, class of 63, and Johnny McFarland, class of 86, and is awarded to a senior who has demonstrated the greatest commitment to the Darlington motto: wisdom more than knowledge, service beyond self, and honor above everything. This year's recipient is Alex Scott Patterson, South Bend, Indiana. The DAR Good Citizenship Award is sponsored by the Daughters of the American Revolution Xavier Chapter and given to the outstanding student who is showing through leadership, honor, courage, patriotism, and unselfish service those high standards necessary to be a responsible citizen. This year's recipient is Sophie Ann Stepp, Calhoun, Georgia. The George Eastman Young Leaders Award. Sponsored by the University of Rochester, this award is given to a member of the junior class who has shown strong leadership experience at school and in their community while maintaining high grades in challenging courses. This student also contributes a great deal of time to extracurricular activities. This year's recipient is Cooper Efton Cates, Rome, Georgia. Frederick Douglass and Susan B. Anthony Award is sponsored by the University of Rochester. This award is given to a member of the junior class who has shown outstanding achievement in the humanities and/or social science and has demonstrated commitment to understanding and addressing difficult social issues. This year's recipient is Leslie Grace Garlinghouse, Fayetteville, Arkansas. The Morgan Sisley Love of Life Award. This award is given in memory of Morgan Sisley, who as a ninth grade left an indelible smile in the memory of the Darlington community because of her contagious love for living. The recipient of this award is a ninth grade resident who has demonstrated a zeal for life, a gracious spirit, and generosity with laughter. This year's recipient is Elizabeth Randolph Boyd, Prospect, Kentucky. The Bo Satterfield Spirit of Life Award. This award commemorates the life of and the spirit of Bo G. Satterfield, who died on February 3rd, 1993. This award is not intended to recognize academic achievement alone, but more importantly, will also recognize spirit, an attitude, a capacity for living that reaches beyond the normal range of achievement or experience. This award celebrates the accomplishments and characteristics of a young person whose life respects the highest ideals of our society. This year's recipient is Oluwasiji Oluwaseun Setun from Lagos, Nigeria.
The Angelin Hollingsworth Johnson Memorial Awards are presented to the senior boy and girl who best exemplify Christian ideals and commitments. This year's recipients are Juliana Chloe Duck, Rome, Georgia, and Dawson Shag Williams of Cave Spring, Georgia. The Wesley N. Coleman Jr. Memorial Award is given to that senior girl and boy who combine outstanding scholastic achievement with outstanding school spirit. This year's recipients are Lauren Ann Botwinick, Rome, Georgia, and Chandler Joseph Pittman, Rome, Georgia. The Godfrey Smith Family Award for General Excellence, established by Godfrey and Patty Hill Smith of Tallahassee, Florida, in lasting appreciation for Darlington's profound influence on the lives of their sons, William Godfrey Smith Jr., class of '72, and Robert Hill Smith, class of '78. This award is presented annually to a resident senior boy who, through leadership, scholarship, and school spirit, best exemplifies the traditions of Darlington. This year's recipient is Huy Minh Nguyen, Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam. The Coxwell Kerr Award, established by Mr. and Mrs. Milton Coxwell of Monroeville, Alabama, in honor of Anne Rooney Kerr, Thornwood, class of '65, and in recognition of her devoted participation in the Rome Parents Program, and in honor of their children, William John Nelson Coxwell, class of '98, and Clara Stewart Coxwell, class of 2000. This award is given to that senior boarding student with at least 3 years in residence, whose leadership, character, scholarship, and spiritual life best exemplify the aims and ideals of the boarding tradition of Darlington School. This year's recipient is Dijao Sophie Jin from Shenzhen, China. The John Glenn Awards, Established by Mr. and Mrs. Jack Glenn in appreciation of the influence of Darlington School on their son, John Glenn, class of '83. These awards are presented annually to that resident senior boy and girl who have shown the greatest improvement academically and socially in their experience at Darlington. They must have been a resident student here for at least 2 years. This year's recipients are Alana Marie Dame, Spartanburg, South Carolina, and Andrew William Ferderer, Sewanee, Georgia.
The Parents' Choice Award. Established in 2001 by the Darlington Parents Association, the Parents' Choice Award is selected from parents' nominations and awarded to a distinguished member of the faculty or staff who has shown significant commitment to the school, its mission, and students. The recipient of this award has served the school for at least 5 years, possesses great skill and leadership ability, demonstrates a commitment to the Darlington motto, is a faithful member of the Darlington community, and epitomizes its cooperative spirit. The Upper School Tiger Pride is pleased to present this year's award to Shelley Daniel. For significant contributions to the Darlington Community Award, the Upper School Tiger Pride desires to honor a teacher who excels in enthusiasm, participation, and leadership to help make Darlington School a better place to be. The Upper School Tiger Pride is pleased to present this year's award to John Cox. Excellence in Teaching Award. The Upper School Tiger Pride wishes to recognize and honor the faculty by presenting the Excellence in Teaching Award to a teacher who has demonstrated excellence in classroom teaching by expecting and encouraging excellence in students. The Upper School Tiger Pride is pleased to present this year's award to Jacqueline Haynes. The William Gordon Neville Jr. Student Council Faculty Award. This award is presented by the Student Council to that faculty member who has demonstrated exceptional dedication, service, and assistance to the Darlington School student body. This year's recipient is Eddie Guth. The Randa F. Mixon Award. Established by the student leaders she inspired, the Randa F. Mixon Award honors that senior student council member who embodies the enthusiasm, dedication, and love of Darlington School that Randa Mixon brought to our student council during her many years of service as its advisor. This year's recipient is Lee Chelsea Barnes, Rome, Georgia. The Charles Scott Award. Established by the 1967 intramural champions to honor the memory of the late Charles Scott, the award is continued by the family of Charles A. Height, class of 1932. The Charles Scott Award is awarded to that boarding senior who, through the course of the year, has shown the greatest concern for, interest in, and consideration of fellow students. The recipient is selected by the votes of the senior class officers and the members of the Honor Council and the Y Cabinet. This year's recipient is Xing Neil Yin, Shenyang, China. The Sydenham Howell Award. The Sydenham Howell Award was established by Dr. Albert Sidney Johnson from Charlotte, North Carolina, and continued by the Y Cabinet. A Bible is awarded to that senior, other than an officer of the Y Cabinet, who has contributed most to the spiritual life of the school during the academic year. This year's recipient is Grace Marie Temple, Rome, Georgia. The Barbara Ware Book Award. The Barbara Ware Book Award is presented to that senior who, through scholarship and service, has demonstrated an outstanding commitment to a future of harmony, justice, and opportunity for all people. This year's recipient is Ashanti Jamil Cobb, Black Mountain, North Carolina. The St. Lawrence University Book Award. In recognition of the value placed on service to others, St. Lawrence University presents this award to honor the achievements of a junior who has displayed a significant commitment to community service. This year's recipient is Alyssa Diane Smith, Rome, Georgia. The Rhodes College Book Award. This award is presented to a 10th grader who has demonstrated exemplary community service efforts in addition to maintaining a superlative academic standing. This year's recipient is Ji Yang, Beijing, China. The Darlington School Community Service Award. The Darlington School Community Service Award is given to honor a senior for volunteer community service. This year's recipient is Abigail Grace Yerke, Rome, Georgia.
The Darlington School Jabberwock Award. This year's Jabberwock Award honors the staff member who has made the greatest contribution to the yearbook. This year's recipient is Alana Marie Dane, Spartanburg, South Carolina. The Darlingtonian Award. The Darlingtonian Award is presented to the student who, in the opinion of the advisor to the Darlingtonian, has been most valuable to the publication. This year's recipients are Casey Nicole Barnett, Cedartown, Georgia, and Carter Montgomery Anderson, Rome, Georgia. The Darlington School Inkslinger Award. The Inkslinger Award is presented to the student who has made the most valuable contribution to the publication of the literary magazine, both in dedication and achievement. This year's recipient is William Alexander Green, Rome, Georgia. The Darlington School Inkslinger Creative Award. The Inkslinger Creative Award is presented to the student whose work published in the literary magazine shows, in the opinion of the advisor to the Inkslinger, the most creative thought and use of language. This year's recipient is Ashanti Jamil Cobb, Black Mountain, North Carolina.
The Alice Cooper Griffin Memorial School Service Awards are presented to the senior girl and boy who have shown the greatest service and loyalty to the school, but have not been recognized by election or appointment to a high office. This year's recipients are Jessica Carly Chisholm, Somerville, Georgia, and Hampton Alexander Watkins of Rome, Georgia. The Walker Smith Awards for unselfish service are awarded to those seniors who have made the most unselfish contribution of their time and effort to the life of the school. This year's recipients are Molly Giles Brewer of Rome, Georgia, and William Alexander Green of Rome, Georgia.
The Darlington School Student Council Award. The Student Council was created so students could have meaningful discussions about the institution and have a platform to meet with the administration to discuss the direction of the school. This year, the Student Council has done a tremendous job of giving the student body a voice and improving the student experience. Darlington and I are grateful for the effort and hard work put in by this year's student body president, Casey Nicole Barnett, Cedartown, Georgia. The Darlington School Discipline Committee Award. The president of the Discipline Committee can be one of the most difficult student leadership positions at Darlington. They are expected to lead 8 other students and 4 faculty members in maintaining a high standard of behavior in our student body. This president has been a model leader who listens intently to others' points of view and deeply considers what is best for the individual as well as what is best for Darlington. His experience and guidance will be sorely missed, but we know that those who saw him lead will continue his legacy of appreciation for Darlington and its students. This award goes to the president of the DC, Alec Scott Patterson, South Bend, Indiana. The Darlington School Honor Council Award. The ability to connect with one's peers is a distinctive attribute of a natural leader. Add to that exceptional character, setting the example of integrity for fellow students. This young man has guided the council in respectful and thoughtful consideration for each case this year. It is my pleasure to present this award to the Honor Council President, Chandler Joseph Pittman, Rome, Georgia.
The Darlington School Y Cabinet Award. The Y Cabinet, Darlington's student-run religious life organization, has been led this year by a young man of great Christian faith, a strong sense of the responsibility that comes with leadership, and a huge heart for others. He has brought a seriousness of purpose and a high level of thoughtfulness to the intricacies of the role of the Y Cabinet at Darlington. He has set a very high bar for all who follow in his footsteps, and I'm deeply grateful to have had his partnership and strong faith guiding our students through the particularly challenging waters of this school year. This award goes to our president, Joseph Franklin Manning II, Rome, Georgia.
The Centennial Cup is an award given annually to a well-deserving house that has set itself apart in various aspects of school life. Houses are awarded points for Centennial Cup activities including academic standings, rumpus, and community service hours. This year's winner epitomized the standard of excellence that the Darlington House system represents. Through leadership, scholarship, and fellowship, this house has excelled as a year's Centennial Cup Award winner. It is my honor to present this year's Centennial Cup Award to the prefects and the head of house for Thornwood House.
The Directors Awards are presented on Honors Day to a boy and girl from the senior class for their outstanding contributions to Darlington and for making a difference in the life of the school. This year's recipients are Casey Nicole Barnett of Cedartown, Georgia, and Neil Yin of Cheyenne, China.
Congratulations again to all of our award winners. Know that we are proud of you and that you should be proud of your accomplishments. Traditionally, Honors Day marks the final time that the entire upper school community gathers in one place. In that regard, it is always a bittersweet experience. At the same time, we are happy to be nearing the completion of another school year, and certainly happy for the graduation of the class of 2020. And we're always a little sad at the same time. We will miss you over the summer or as you head off to college and your adventures ahead. A lot happens over the course of a school year. There are moments of great happiness, moments of sadness, little things that seem like a big deal. and big things that we don't fully appreciate because we move too quickly on to the next thing. This year, of course, everything has been different. We left for spring break having no idea that we would really never return to campus, that spring sports seasons would not be completed, we wouldn't have spring concerts, and that you would have to complete the school year using distance learning. We would not gather again in assembly or chapel and end each of those sessions with the seniors leading us out. It's been different. It's been strange. It's been hard. But yet there's been a lot of good. The seniors have and will continue to lead us out. And for that, we are most grateful. I like to read the passage, The Man in the Arena, from Theodore Roosevelt, each year on Honors Day. And this year, I think it's particularly important to think about and listen to the words and consider what we have to be grateful for. Roosevelt wrote, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again. Because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat." Each of you have chosen to be in the arena. You've committed yourself to learning with passion, acting with integrity, and serving with respect. Life is a process. It requires enthusiasm, effort, and devotion. Nothing worth striving for comes easily. The journey is different for each of you. It provides you with the confidence, the connections, with the compassion that you need to make a difference. We are all learning this in new and unexpected ways every day, especially now and especially while we're not together. So in closing, remember, don't let that critic count. Keep your sense of humor, remain kind, and have a grateful attitude. Opportunities will come. Be sure to seize them. We're proud of you, and we thank you for all your contributions to Darlington. We appreciate your being here with us today, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.